Gotta be fucking kidding.
Here's the first movie.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Peel that pig and slice him thick.
The body count is always bigger.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And the fucking trees walked in those movies.
Hi, doggy.
What a story, Mark.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Life moves pretty fast.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise.
37 dicks. In a row?
I'm your number one fan.
Hello, welcome listeners, back to our third marathon of Marathon Me.
Zooey mama!
And we're doing the Diary of a Wimpy Kid franchise. A bit of a change of pace from what we have had before, because we literally went from an astounding horror franchise, Scream, to some auteur filmography of Wes Anderson, and now we're doing kid-friendly, coming-of-age preteen films.
We're doing some true cinema, alright? You know, we teased you guys a little bit with, like, you know, Scream and the Wes Anderson filmography, but, like, you know, we're doing some real cinema, some actual, like, proper, like, high-class art right here.
Actual character pieces where we get to see
Precisely.
inside and outside the mind of our boy Greg Heffley and see everything that he's got going on.
Precisely. Our boy, he is our boy.
Yeah, and we'll see, and of course we're going to be starting with the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and here's a bit of the trailer.
Are you sure you don't want me to walk you in?
Mom.
Okay.
Mom. Have a great day, sweetie pie.
Let me just say for the record that middle school is the dumbest idea ever invented.
This place is an intellectual wasteland.
You got kids like me who haven't hit their growth spurt yet, mixed in with gorillas who have to shave twice a day.
Based on the best-selling book.
Don't talk to anyone, don't look at anyone, don't sit down.
So not happening.
Who am I kidding? You'll be dead or homeschooled by the end of the year anyway.
Thank you for those words of motivational wisdom.
20th Century Fox presents Greg.
I heard girls say that Wes Anderson has a cute butt. A butt can't be cute. It's a butt. There's Bryce. Just be cool. Hey, Bryce. Yeah, hey, Bryce. Cute butt.
Man, do you remember seeing that trailer when you were like 10 years old and being
Yes.
so fucking hyped for it?
Yes, I was, because, like, I'm assuming you were a fan of the books when, like, before the movies came out?
Oh my god, yes.
I mean,
that is, both of us, like, a very, very right time period for us to... probably these books came out when we were, like, in our...
It was primary school,
It was primary school
Because
time.
the first one was 2007, so that was, like, roughly, I think, around about when we both started primary school.
Oh my god, we would have been 6 years old.
Yeah, so, like, it was... I feel like, we were the kind of the perfect demographic for the books, and then when the movies came out, it's like, no... Like, because, like, as a kid, it's like... As a kid... I don't know, like, some kids, they like reading books more than others, but, like, when you're a kid and say, like, you know, Harry Potter is gonna come out with a movie, it's like, oh my goodness, this is like the greatest thing ever. I'm so excited for this. And it's like with Diary of a Wimpy Kid, it's like, yeah, it had pictures in it, but like the idea of it being in a live action format is something that like would blow childhood me's mind. Like, I should say childhood
it blew
me.
my mind. Oh my god.
Yeah, I just meant like childhood me's, and like I couldn't really find like a good word stand for like just childhood. I was gonna say childhood you in general and all that.
Childhood me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just childhood Rhys.
Yeah, it just applies to us. No one else gave a shit about these books.
Man, this freaking blew my mind, and it's also funny that this trailer came out, and like the first scene that you would have heard just doesn't even happen in the movie.
Yeah, so like, yeah.
It's not even there.
It's ridiculous, yeah, like Greg's mum calling out to him and all that. It's like...
Yeah, FYI guys, does not happen in the movie. Yeah, they cut that out.
It's not canon in the lore of Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
But it made probably... what year is this movie from, Kane?
It was like 2010.
2010?
Yeah, from
this would have made 9-year-old me fucking shit my pants. I would have been so excited.
I don't remember if I watched this in the theaters or if I watched this on a pirated DVD. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Real immersive entertainment.
I know we went into a tirade about this in I think our Moonrise Kingdom episode about piracy. But look, man, I was like 10. All right, give me a break. I wasn't
pirated DVDs tear your friends apart.
Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done.
Look, man, I didn't have friends. Like, I had friends, but I didn't have friends come over, man. I just had my family.
I didn't have
like,
friends to lose, so why not? Why not just
Exactly. I'm just sitting there
DVD?
alone, just watching pirated Wimpy Kid. It's like, yeah, this is life can't get better than this, I guess.
I went to go see it with one of my best friends at the time, Stephanos, and we left the cinema. Everyone that we watched it with, like our parents and each other, being like, "Oh my god!" So Stephanos, you're like Greg, and Rhys, you're like Rowley, and that the things that would do to your 9-year-old self-esteem, it's not very good.
I mean, like, you look back on it now, and it's like, it's more of an insult to Stephanos.
Oh, exactly.
Which we will get into. But, like, yeah, as a child, it's like, Greg is like, he's
the everyman.
Yeah, he's the everyman. He's just like me.
The everyman that you find so relatable, and also you look up to, because, oh man, he's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to be just like that. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, he's like a relatable underdog, kind of.
Yeah, he has shit going on.
He just wants to be rich and famous, but he's stuck in middle school with a bunch of morons.
Yeah.
We can all relate to that at one point.
Exactly. If I just got the independence and was allowed to get out of school, then I would be as rich and famous as he would be.
Precisely.
So overall with the film, did you enjoy it?
Mate, I did more than enjoy it. I freaking loved it. Like part of it is because this series, not just the films but like the books as well, have been like just turned into a meme and all that. Something actually funny, like an actual funny meme. I just got to clarify that. But
there must be more that you like to this other than its meme status.
Oh no, definitely no, because like I like this in both kind of an ironic way, but not in like where I'm ashamed to say that I genuinely enjoy this. I'm being serious. I genuinely really enjoyed this.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah, this was just. It's just a lot of fun, you know? It's just a movie that I could... Because I haven't seen this movie since, I don't know, maybe 2012 maybe? Like a long time ago. So I was like going in just like a completely different person than how I was when I originally watched it. And I loved it. And like, I feel like I loved it even more than when I was younger. Like I feel like I got a lot more out of it as a 21-year-old than I did as a 12-year-old.
That is what I have to say about these movies and why I'm loving them so much, is that we watch them with the perspective of a 10-year-old. And with that very biased, unique perspective, you watch it completely different than one's perspective now, and you get something completely else out of it. Like, it's almost like this empowering film as a 10-year-old that you side with Greg. He's a completely infallible human being when you watch it when you're a child, and when you can relate directly to him. And now we can relate to him, but on a much more retrospective type of lens. Where it's like, oh yeah, I was him, and I'm so glad that I'm not him anymore. I'm so glad that I'm better than him, because a real crux of this movie, in our newest watching anyway, do you agree, is that Greg is just such a fucking douche.
Oh,
he is so awful.
I think that's one thing that this film captures perfectly, is that it's just, like, yes, first off, yes, Greg is just he's just horrific in this.
He is awful. Just a terrible, terrible person.
He's mean. He's cruel. He's manipulative. He lies.
He discriminates.
He literally said. There's literally a line when he first enters middle school that he calls himself discriminatory, and I'm like, yeah, you are, Greg. You're a horrible person.
Greg Heffley would be cancelled in 2021.
Oh my goodness.
Well, in 2022 that we're in now.
Yeah, no, Greg wouldn't says you couldn't make Greg Heffley today. No, sir.
Man, he could get all rich and successful, but then his tweets would come up 10 years afterwards, and then there would be this footage of him saying that he's discriminatory, and then he's out. He's out of the game.
You know, I'm in full support of cancelling a 10-year-old. You know, I'm in full support of that.
Hashtag cancel Greg Heffley.
Yeah,
cancel Greg Heffley. Silence the man.
Hashtag Greg Heffley's over party.
Yeah.
Greg is just like throughout the film. Like Rhys, you can comment on this. Is that like throughout the film, like I genuinely just got like actually frustrate. Like it's like I like to get over the top when like watching stupid movies and all, like have over the top reactions, or like I'm doing a let's play kind of thing. Like, you know how like they always do over the top reactions for like, scary bits or funny bits, but like, you know, I like to get over the top when I'm watching like stupid funny movies. But like, there's just something about the way Greg was in this movie and the way he treats the people in his life, and just like this egotism that he shows, that he displays in full force. It was genuinely just anger-inducing to watch. However, it is not it's not like
it's not an unpleasant anger, right?
No, yeah,
like, it's
no.
almost like a cathartic anger, because you know what that anger is like directed towards. It's not directed towards like a fictional character that's 10 years old. All this anger is directed towards us thinking back on ourselves at that age and who we are, and how we would have done the exact same things if we were in his position.
Oh, I mean, a little bit of the anger partially is due to Greg. Fuck Greg. But I do.
What fuck Greg is about is like fuck us. Oh
no,
my God,
no. I'm in complete agreement of that.
It's just the reflection of who we are and how we acted as a kid. We're just cringing more at him. We're not cringing directly at him. We're cringing at ourselves. Like, what are you?
We identify.
Oh my God,
with him.
I did that same thing. I would have done the same freaking thing.
Like as kids, we identified with him because, you know, he's a kid. He just wants to be popular and like rich and famous. Blah blah blah. Blah. You know, the classic. You know how like a regular middle schooler, or you know like late primary school, early high school for our Australian listeners, since we don't have middle school. Like we. You know, back then we can identify and see ourselves as Greg back then, and now we see ourselves within Greg, but like, yeah, as you said, in a more retrospective fashion, and we're looking back on it like, oh no, we were like
that was
that.
Us.
We said stuff like that. We thought that way.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's the most unique sort of sense, is the whole we felt like that.
We're not proud of it. We all have the shame of those memories, but you know, at the end of the day, that was young. That's like the young us. And I mean, like, us, not just, like, us, you and me. I mean, like, everyone in the world, duh.
Us as human beings.
As human beings.
We're past that. We've
as
developed.
Individuals. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
as individuals.
that's where all the cringing is coming from. It's the shame. It's the guilt of,
the guilt.
Oh, my God. We would have been so terrible to be around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. I've been told I was pretty terrible when I was, like,
I've been
at
told
that
by
age.
people I am pretty awful.
I've been told by strangers that, like, yeah, I was pretty insufferable.
Yeah, I think that's a necessary part of growing up, is being able to be comfortable enough to tell your friends, yeah, you're pretty shit at the time.
Oh yeah, I mean,
isn't that nice though? That like you'll still be friends with people even though you've been with them through the worst version of themselves.
Oh yeah, like I you know, there's a couple people in my life, and like hell, even you have seen you were terrible, Rhys,
yeah,
when
I've
you were
been
young.
through the worst version of you right now.
No, but. Fuck off. But like, you know, I was like pretty bad back in like early high school and all that, and like, you know, you can vouch for that. You saw how I was back in the day.
You know, but you were still Kane, and that's what you still kept on.
Yeah, but like, I obviously grew out of some Greg Heffley tendencies, I think.
We all have. That's the beauty of Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Exactly.
There's and on the opposite side of that coin is Rowley, who he's got BDE without a doubt.
BDE?
Big dick energy.
Hell yeah.
Completely. He does not give... Yeah. Like, he is... It's so interesting, the shift of when watching it as a kid, you're like, Rowley's so lame, he follows the rules, and he's not cool.
He loves his mommy and daddy.
He loves his mom and dad. And now you watch it, and it's like, he is... who I wish I was, who doesn't care. He's being completely himself, and he's so comfortable with himself.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where the formation of this film is actually so commendable by the filmmakers and everyone that had something to do with this, because it was made for two different audiences and a completely different reception for each of them. How freaking great is that? Like, this is actually a movie that if I was a parent bringing my kids to go see it, it would actually be entertaining.
Yeah.
You would be fulfilled by it in completely different ways than your kid would be fulfilled.
I think my parents actually didn't like these movies when they would take me to go see them, but like they don't really...
They just don't get it.
No, yeah, they don't get it. No, they have terrible movie taste, but I feel like Yeah, let's just leave it at that. It's just they just didn't get it. They just didn't get the deep intricacies of the trilogy.
Yeah.
No, but like Rowley, honestly, like as a 21-year-old man, I wish to be Rowley, not to be like 10 again.
I wish to be a chubby 10-year-old child
with a bowl cut. I would love to be that. No, but I would love to have, as you've described him, as a big dick energy, like just not caring, just. Like just being happy in his own skin kind of thing. Because like,
he's
a lot of us,
comfortable.
I feel like Rowley represents like something that a lot of people maybe want to strive for is like to not care about what other people think, but not like in a selfish way, whereas like an almost egotistical way, kind of like how Greg is. Like as you said, like Rowley's kind of on the opposite side of the spectrum when it comes to like personality, kind of.
In this film, I think that Rowley still has his innocence, which is something that we almost like fetishize now. I mean that in a very, in a completely like wholesome way. We fetishize it, as in like, oh yes, we would love that innocence.
We have a longing kind of.
A longing for that innocence. Where Greg's whole character is that his innocence has we're pretty much getting to meet him just as his innocence has died.
Yeah.
Like, just as he's starting to sort of, like, figure out that the world isn't very clean and pretty, but then he's really just, like, rolling with it.
Yeah.
And becoming, he's just such a bitch about the whole thing.
Oh, dude.
And that's why you hate him. It's almost like, there's this, like, this freaking graph in life of, like, your faith in humanity. When you're really young, everything's so pretty and kind and nice, and then you realize stuff's a little bit shit, and then at this sort of age you get really pessimistic about it all.
Oh yeah, we all went through that, yeah.
And he's just this massive freaking pessimist who thinks that everything around him is so awful, where honestly probably the worst thing in this movie and in this world is Greg.
Yeah, definitely.
But then you sort of grow out of that and you're like, you know what? Things are bad, but I can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we've just got him just at the start of realizing stuff's bad and then being really dramatic about the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm stuck in middle school with a bunch of morons. I'm with small kids and gorillas who have to shave twice a day. Dude, Greg was literally talking about me in that scene. He was talking about me because, like, dude, if I was like, if he saw me in there, he'd just see me with the big beard in high, because like I had a beard in high school, in like school and all that. So like he'd see me and be like probably horrified. He'd be like, what's going on? Who is this guy?
The original script was like, in that scene, pans over to Kane Murcott, sitting down, scratching his beard, skin flakes fall on the ground.
Yeah, the script was written like 2009, 2010, but like it's like modern day 2022 Kane was like written into that script.
Yeah, exactly. They knew what was going on.
Yeah, exactly. They knew.
Well, one really weird thing in the trailer too that I find so funny is when they're introducing the characters.
Oh yes, please.
And then the last one that they go is, and Coach Malone.
Dude,
I didn't even remember Coach Malone.
I don't either. He was barely a character in the bloody books. I remember because I haven't read the books in forever. But like, who the hell is Coach Malone?
I don't know, but I wanted to do some research for this episode and actually read the book again before recording.
Oh yeah.
I looked for it the other day and I just could not find it in our boxes and boxes of children's books.
I think
so I sort of gave up.
I think I know I still have the books and all that at home. Because like I collected them all up until I think the one where like they go camping or something. I think it was like. I don't remember the later titles, but like I had a lot of like the first few. I remember I stole a copy of The Last Straw from my primary school library.
Oh, it really was The Last Straw.
I remember
it was your rebellion from society stealing this book.
I wanted that book, man. I wanted that book.
You stole it from the library. You freaking rebel. Oh
from my primary school library. I was a bit of a bad boy back then. Just like
the thrill every time that you would see like your primary school name on the inside the cover.
Oh, it was it was like scary, man. I was terrified. like, because like I was like a goody two shoes. I was like a Rowley kind of kid, whereas like I didn't like getting in trouble and
Well,
like,
obviously not with you stealing stuff. Rowley would never do that.
well, you know, sometimes you just have those. Sometimes your demons just want to come out and play. You know, sometimes your demons just come out and play, and then afterwards you're just like, oh no, what have I done? You're just going through dark hours.
Your heart can be Rowley's, but then sometimes you have a bit of Greg inside.
Yeah, I can be your Greg.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I can be your Rowley or your Greg. Oh no! But back to Coach Malone, the best character in literary history.
He seems so just miscast. Do you feel that?
It does. Yeah, it just feels. I don't know. Yeah, it feels weird. It
feels like an actor that should be in like a Seth Rogen, James Franco comedy, and he's playing like the uber mask gym teacher
who lives and breathes physical education.
Yeah.
Quoted by him, not me.
Yeah, which doesn't really suit him that much. And, but at least it does get down pat like the character itself, with how demeaning all gym teachers have to be.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that?
Not really from what I remember. I remember
in primary school?
Not really. I mean, I had one gym teacher who was kind of cringe because, like, because
what a description.
No, I'm not kidding. No, I love this guy. I don't know if I should say his name, but shout out to my primary school physical education teachers. Some of my primary school listeners will know who I'm talking about. But like during some classes, instead of doing physical education, we do interpretive dance. And like he would literally like he would take his shoes off and like just start doing dance around the room like ballerina type shit.
This gym teacher sounds like he was secure with his masculinity.
Well, yeah. I don't really know what I can say about like not cringe. Cruel gym teacher because I never had any of those kind of people. Did you?
Our primary school one was. Freaking, I'm not going to say his name, but man, he was just awful. Just that typical stereotype that you see of gym teachers.
Yeah.
Where I remember one time we had this activity where we all the entire class had to get in a line and we would have to like run around the school in a circle.
Yeah.
And we were encouraged to you have to run as fast as you can, but you can't overtake the person in front of you.
What?
So when you get to the person that's ahead of you, and if they're running slower than you, you've got to yell at them to tell them to go faster, call them that. He encouraged us to call them names, say like princess and stuff. And
princess.
Yeah, so I remember being this chubby child running as fast as I possibly can away from someone that was going to insult me as they catch up to me.
Oh, I'm sorry for laughing. That's fun.
And then you only have as much fucking power in you as you do as a chubby child.
Yeah.
That it was just inevitable that I was going to be caught up by Cody, and then he was going to start calling me princess and sissy and stuff for not running fast enough.
Damn, Cody, why do you got to do Rhys like that, man?
But not Cody's fault. Not Cody's fault.
Yeah.
That was the fucking activity.
It was conditioning. It was mental conditioning.
He was facilitated. That behavior was facilitated.
Exactly. It was nurtured. It wasn't by nature.
It's okay though, because you were present, Kane, one day when we were I think 17. Because I lived down the street from my old primary school.
Yes.
Me, Kane, and a couple of other friends of ours went for a walk down to the primary school. We were a little bit off of our face.
Oh no, I know what you're gonna tell.
And we got revenge.
We
got revenge.
I think you mean I got revenge for you. You didn't do it.
Oh, I didn't. I think the only two people that actually knew the guy didn't partake in it, but we were telling stories about him.
I think I'm the only one that partook in the actual physical revenge.
No, there was what? Andrew did, as well as I think Lawrence as well.
Okay, for the record, this revenge, it makes it sound like we jumped the guy.
We
did not.
We murdered this man.
Yeah, we are not confessing to gang violence or any of that stuff. Do we want to say what we did?
Okay, so the school has a little section with personalized bricks to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the school.
Yeah, my school had that as well.
And they had personalized bricks that had their full name there, their position at the school, whatever, or they had a little drawing.
Yeah.
So anyway, his brick right in the middle, full name, and everyone just had to go pissing on the brick.
Yeah, it was I wouldn't say. Do we regret our actions, Rhys?
Not 1 second.
Yeah, I don't. I never even knew the guy. But
all that I could picture was Monday back at school. They're talking about these bricks, and he's there so proud of the years that he's been at this school. Bends down on his knees, kisses this brick. Three 17-year-olds with their piss covering the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
What a
very classy.
What did we get into? Oh wait, no, yeah, because we're talking about
gym teachers.
Yeah, gym teachers and all that. Yeah.
See, one day, Greg, you'll be able to piss on his brick.
Well, hopefully Cody's doing all right now. Hopefully he's not let those demons take a hold of him. And
yeah, don't let the Greg take over you.
Living a prosperous Rowley infused future. You know.
Yeah.
Rowley influenced future, I should say.
Like Shirts and Skins just feels so fucked up in 21st century lens,
oh,
right?
Yeah, like is that feels elite. Like watching that scene.
That's what Coach Malone was doing to these poor children.
It feels illegal, honestly.
It feels really illegal.
Yeah.
Like you should not. Okay, so half the class take your clothes off. Like
Yeah.
that is not right at all.
Yeah, that's it's just violent as well, you know. Like, yeah, modern day schools would not condone that and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's PC culture gone mad, I swear.
I love though in like scenes like this, it does like really highlight though that all these kids are playing the same age characters, but just like how different all of their maturity, like as in physical maturities are.
Yeah.
That you'll see like the Greg and Rowley's team, and there's both of them and Chirag, and they look like literal children.
Yeah.
In the same class as these preteens that like look like they're teenagers.
Yeah. And next to these gorillas who have to shave twice a day, as quoted by Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, gotta start using. Gotta start. It's just like in English essays. Gotta use quotes from the original source. You know?
It's the only way to get integrity to your take and your review of it.
Yeah, precisely.
Around this gym scene as well is where Angie, played by Chloe Grace Moretz, is introduced.
Oh yeah.
And man, you know what I love so much about her character?
What?
Despite her just being her in this movie, is the only one that she shows up in. So she must just leave.
Also,
afterwards.
keep in mind she's not a character in the books either.
Oh yeah,
there is no
character.
scene of like Greg and Rowley meeting her under the bleachers. No scene of like her really interact. I'm pretty sure there's like. Because, like, I know there's, like, a character that looks like her in, like, animation form in the book, I think, because there were some animated portions of the Dora Wimpy Kid films, which, can I just say, I love, like, the animated portions of, like, the Dora Wimpy Kid movies, like, in the openings and all that. I love the animated segments. It's very weird, very bizarre seeing, like, just the characters move, because it's just, like, very... as a kid, I was, like, very off-put by it, because it was like, ugh, I don't like that.
After, like, doing a bit of research on other people's opinions on this franchise and certain movies in the franchise, people really like those animated segments.
I love them.
There were so many people calling to action, we need a completely animated movie of this.
No, I agree.
And then we got one, and we don't know what it's like yet. Stay tuned.
We got one, but by the looks of it, they got the complete wrong idea.
Yeah, they got the
Disney got the wrong idea, man.
Yeah, they did not do what was asked for.
But yeah, no, like, Angie's not a anyways, back to Angie. It's like, yeah, she's not a character in the books at all. It was just a complete invention made just for the first movie. And this was, like, right before Chloe... this was, like... I think, because I think this film was like, it was filmed during or roughly close to the point where she had her breakthrough in Kick-Ass. So I think that's why she wasn't in the sequels, because like she became a bigger actress after like, you know, she played Hit Girl in Kick-Ass and like
she also went
the vampire in Let Me In and all that, which was like a pretty big horror film at the time.
She also went from this film to getting Martin Scorsese directing her for Hugo.
Oh yeah, she was in Hugo, wasn't she?
Man, the jump up, right? Yeah. Going from Dora the Wimpy Kid to Martin Scorsese directed film.
I mean, like, good on her, man, honestly.
I know, right? Man, her career is actually impressive as fuck.
Oh, yeah, like, you know, Tom and Jerry 2021, like, oh.
Yeah.
Have you seen, like, bits and pieces of that movie?
I have not, my mum
bought me that for Christmas last year.
Oh, no.
And it's like, look, I appreciate the sentiment, like, I am grateful
It's a sweet
for
idea.
It, but, like, I've seen clips, and, like, Chloe Grace Moretz looks awful in that movie. Like, her acting, I don't know. I don't blame her. I blame like the script and like direction and all, but she is awful. And she seems awful in this movie. But not Dora Wimpy Kid though.
Yeah, my favorite thing about Angie in this film is that I could argue that she's barely even a character in this film. She's an exposition queen. She shows up to just like, there's a lot of themes going on in this about growing up and about change and all those sort of things. She will show up to just state what the theme is of this part of the film. This is a quote from her. She is talking to the two boys and goes, "Everyone is changing and you'll be left behind. Girls won't talk to you anymore." She's just pointing out a theme of the film now.
Yeah, you know.
Great, okay.
It's just, you know, sometimes the kids just need a helping hand, you know?
And she always shows up when a new sort of like problem is happening in the film. And she's there to say, this is what you've done wrong. And this is the thing that's wrong with this situation.
She's literally their guardian angel.
She is. She totally is.
Oh my god.
Chloe Grace Moretz, the guardian angel.
Oh, God bless, honestly.
Yeah. but like, it really does. I do like, though, all of these themes that are going on with like how everything is changing around them and they're just so overwhelmed, and Rowley's embracing it when Greg isn't at all.
Yeah, Greg's very like resistant towards it.
Yeah, it really like encapsulates preteenhood so freaking well, I think, because you're not quite an adult, you're not quite a child anymore. Well, you feel that you're not a child anymore.
Yeah.
And then the conflict that conjures between those two worlds, because you're constantly striving for independence and I'm better than this, but you're not yet. Like, it is completely where you should be at that point in your life, which is what I think this movie does really, really well.
Oh, definitely. Wholeheartedly agree, man.
Yeah.
I just want to say, on a technical standpoint, the sound. I gotta give applaud to the film's sound design, because I'm not kidding. Like the sound, like the sound design for like a lot of the gross out moments. Because like I don't find gross out humor funny. Like, you know, I'm above that kind of humor.
You don't like Fregley?
No, Fregley's an exception.
Part of the movie.
Fregley's a legend, man.
You're just being ignorant towards the best part of the movie.
No, we'll get to him in a second. No, I wanted to just give a quick round of applause to the sound design, because like a lot of like the gross out moment, because like most gross out movies, I don't find it gross, or I just find it just kind of like whatever. It's like look, funny poop, funny pee pee and all that. But like a lot of the sound design for like a lot of like the disgusting kind of how do I describe it? Like
the disgusting segments where there's
just
the cheese touch and
the cheese touch, like
gross human being imagery, right?
Like a lot of like there's a lot of mucusy sounds in this movie, and for some reason this film just like genuinely grossed me out. And
the Academy Awards always overlook the mucusy sounds.
Yeah, I know.
They always do in sound editing and design. They always overlook it.
Yeah, I know. It's messed up. Like, you know, they'll give bloody fucking Sound of Metal, give that a sound design Oscar. What? Just because it swaps around different sound point of views between deaf and hard of hearing and messed up hearing aids. No! Give it to Wimpy Kid, even though they were released like 9 years apart. No, fuck Sound of Metal and its sound design.
There is no mucusy sound effects in Sound of Metal.
I don't remember any mucusy sound effects.
Name one right now, I dare you.
I can't think of any, man. I can't think of Rhys ever slobbering at his nose and all that, like slobbering at his nose, wiping his nose and all that.
Well, one technical thing that is pretty poor in this movie though is their continuity guy. I think just wasn't paying a lot of attention. In the first scene alone, Greg is there, you know, how he's doing his like having to get ready for school fast thing. He like puts milk, he puts cereal in his mouth, pours milk all over his body. Next shot is milk. He's just not covered in milk anymore.
I can't. I'm a big Wimpy Kid defender, but I can't defend something as atrocious as that.
Can't defend something like that.
Yeah, 1 out of 10 stars right there.
Yeah, exactly. The milk continuity is just nothing. It's awful.
Yeah, as you know, we're experienced with films about milk, Rhys, as our first collaborative effort would show.
Yeah, exactly.
But
we very much pay attention to the detail of milk continuity. It's very important.
Precisely.
Yeah. For this thing, there was never more milk in one shot than the next.
Yeah.
You know, unless someone was drinking that milk.
Yeah, nah. What did we want to go into next, though?
So, I think that expectations is a huge theme in this film as well. It's just like the high expectations that Greg seems to have for everything around him, and the world seems to. It seems like that he thinks that the world owes him something.
Yeah.
He's almost like a Max Fisher in the making, if he was more intellectual.
Yeah.
If he maybe put a little bit more effort into it.
Yeah.
Where
Are you
like
saying that Greg should have put more effort into being intellectual, or Max being more effort into being intellectual?
Oh, Greg.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say,
even though the Max Fisher from Rushmore is an idiot.
Yeah.
He's still he's putting effort into being intellectual.
Yeah. He does a lot of extracurricular shit. Meanwhile, like Greg is like, he's an idiot, but it's like how most he's like how most middle school kids are kind of just idiots, you know?
Yeah.
He's not cartoonishly stupid like maybe one of the later films in the series.
Oh god, I'm dreading that episode so much.
It's more he's just realistically dim-witted in certain areas. Maybe more so a lot of it blinded by his own ego possibly, because he's like, "No, I'm right. Everyone else is wrong. I know what I'm doing."
You know why his expectations are so high as well is because it really encapsulates this idea that high school or middle school is the entire world.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when you're at that age, that your school is your entire world. You cannot see outwards to this. And you can see that where, like, they're looking through the yearbook together, Rowley and Greg.
Yeah.
And they're looking at, like, the most likely to be famous, the class clown, and they're like, look, they're famous.
Yeah, he's like, these people aren't just students, they're legends or something.
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
legends.
And it's
look
like,
at how famous these people are, most likely to succeed. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Imagine thinking that like fame goes as far as getting a picture in the yearbook.
Oh my! I remember like at the very end of the movie, like speaking of like what we were just talking about before, like when greatest character of all time, Patty Farrell, Greg's natural enemy, was like giving out the yearbooks, and like she's talking to Chloe Grace Moretz. She literally goes into a tirade. Like Chloe Grace Moretz is talking about how like after high school, none of this is like middle school, and then high school will come, and none of this and everything that you think matters won't matter.
Exactly. Thematic exposition queen.
Yeah, literally
right
just
there.
It's like here's another theme for you guys before the movie ends.
Yeah, that is exactly it.
Thank you.
You've given more integrity to my argument. Chloe Grace Moretz is just thematic exposition queen in this film.
Oh my god.
There's and like these people, like, well, Greg specifically.
Yeah.
He's not willing to put time or effort into his success. Like he just expects it. He's looking for instant results.
Yeah, when he looks at the bloody when he's trying to look for activities to do to get in the yearbook, he's like, I can't believe this. They're all so much work.
Yeah.
Gee, Greg. Oh, it's almost like you have to put an effort to actually succeed.
When he's putting
you little rat.
When he's trying to move up in weight grades in his wrestling class.
Yeah.
And like his dad is outlining like, oh, we can do this routine, we can do this,
we can help you bulk up, get all muscly.
And then at the end he's like, and it'll only take 3 months, which is so funny because immediately 3 months is said, and then his dream is just extinguished.
Yeah, he's like, nah, I'm giving up on that.
Giving up, that's too long.
Time
we
for
think,
a new scheme.
Man, imagine if there was a program to make us buff in 3 months.
Oh, I'd take that, yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
Like 3 months, like as an adult, 3 months is not that long.
That's a very manageable amount of time.
No, exactly. But as like a kid, I kind of understand, like as a kid, 3 months like feels like forever.
That's an entire term of school.
Yeah.
And a term of school is an eternity. Because that's like,
goodness,
because that whole term of school is like, in a term, that's when holidays come up. Holidays are so far away. Oh my god.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely.
Not willing to, I don't think I would put in any effort during primary school if I know that the results will come a term away.
Oh, no way. Me neither. Oh, no, yeah, me neither. I was very, like, I lacked a lot of, I was like, like, going, like, again, I was like Greg, I lacked a lot of that kind of motivation to actually put in the effort. Like, I want to have the results, but not put in the effort kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, when I was young, like, when I was younger, I was like, I was a bit chubby, and I was like, oh, I want to lose weight, I want to get a six-pack. But then, like, it's like, oh, it's going to take so long to actually get there, and it's like,
and chicken nuggets just taste so good.
Yeah, exactly. Chicken nuggets and 5 cans of Coca-Cola a day when I was, like, in grade 6. It was
5 cans of Coca-Cola a day?
Yeah, I'm so surprised I didn't, like, get
a heart attack.
Or, like, become, like, morbidly obese and all that. Like, I wasn't, like, I was never fat in, like, because, like, I became, like, pretty chubby and all that when I was, like, basically the middle school era, like, year 6 to year 9, I'm pretty sure it's, like, how long does middle
I think it's 5 to 8.
5 to... Are you sure 5 to... No, because,
well, that makes sense in the middle, right? Because you go 4, 4, 4.
Yeah, but, like, because, like,
I could be wrong, though.
No, because, like, in middle school continuity... Because, like, Greg starts middle school and he's in 6th grade. The second one he's in 7th. Because, like, I think middle school maybe goes for 3 years, I think.
You can see that we have not done our research.
Well, we're not Americans, so like we don't know shit about
Americans
this.
do their research.
Well, no, because like I do know that because like in America, it's like I think years 9 to 12 is like the American high school system. Yeah, because you got freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I think I mean it could differ and all that in other. Maybe in certain regions of America and all that, with the middle school system, whether it's 5 to 8 or 6 to 8. But like I said, I don't really know.
Man, how strange of a that just seems so strange of a concept for as Australians, like the whole middle school part, because it just because it's so there's such weird years. Like with high school, of course you begin a really strange human being. High school in Australia, which starts at year 7.
Yeah.
Year 7, 8, and 9, you're just this very weird individual who has very little understanding of who you are.
You are a
but
different
then
person.
You sort of grow into yourself year 10, 11, 12.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And you're with the same people for all of that. Where imagine having, like, if it's just middle school, you are only that weird person with these people.
That
you
just
don't
sounds miserable.
Like you do not figure yourself out in middle school.
You know, I think Greg's onto something when he says middle school is like I think he says like it's the worst idea ever conceived or whatever it was.
Maybe he's right. Maybe
I think Greg might be onto something. Honestly,
are we becoming Greg defenders?
I think so, and I don't like it.
Yeah, this is wrong. This is very, very wrong.
Yeah, let's move on to something else. I feel very uncomfortable talking about this.
Well, Greg also like just avoids all responsibility. Like that's another key part of his character, which is where like with his unpopularity, he's there blaming Rowley for it. Like where it has nothing to fucking do with Rowley.
Yeah.
Like people love that kid. They really get his BDE. But then Greg, it's all his fault. Like every issue that he gets himself into, it's him.
Yeah, and he doesn't take any accountability for it. And like, it's all because of him. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's this avoidance of responsibility as well, where which facilitates him not developing over time. I think that we should talk about Fregley. Get into the real knit and grit of Fregley as a character.
The complicated tragic figure.
The enigma, that is him. He could totally be the Riddler. Be a great Riddler take.
Yeah, fuck you, Paul Dano. Let's get let's get the actor that plays Fregley in on this.
Yeah, Fregley's got to do it.
Yeah, what's he doing? You know, I don't think he's doing that much.
During the film, we discussed a little bit about our theories towards Fregley. My theory is that Fregley is a very traumatized human being.
Yeah, no.
Where's he getting those wrestling skills from?
I agree.
Straight off the bat, he knows how to fight. He has seen shit.
Yeah,
he isn't. That's not just I'm just having a go at it, because the first wrestling partner that Greg has is Fregley, and
Fregley just demolishes him.
He dominates him. He freaking dominates Greg like he's nothing. I think he's seen some shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that's also probably why he's a bit of a weird guy.
Yeah.
Because like I think it's possibly because he grew up in a rough home. Maybe even have absentee parents that never really parents that had a different kind of way of raising their kid.
I think absentee is a good way to go. Well, on Halloween, he's by himself in a forest fucking unicorn
that
costume.
is true.
He should not. That is not right. Like, if you're a parent, you should be with him or know where he is.
Yeah.
He's just hanging around a fucking forest.
Yeah.
Very, very strange.
It's very odd. I feel like a lot of his kind of weird antics that he gets up to and like how like kind of generally off-putting his personality is towards Greg and Rowley. I think of some of that could be I feel like that could be a front. That could be like a front of him like kind of covering up the trauma that he has. Because I'm not gonna get into this. I'm not gonna delve into the psychology of traumatized kids because I don't. Obviously, I'm not the type of person to talk about that because I'm not a doctor or anything. This isn't a field that I know a lot about. But I feel like some people they kind of put on a front to kind of protect themselves, because
welcome to the Movie Psychology Podcast, where we unpack the real deep psychology of these characters that you know and love.
But no, I feel like Fregley is very troubled.
I think he's been abused.
I'm thinking so.
I think that he may harm animals, potentially, behind closed doors.
There could be a Michael Myers Halloween 2007 Rob Zombie situation going on.
I think
at
so.
the start of that movie, Michael Myers is harming animals and he lives in an abusive household. Fregley's stabbing there's a scene where like Greg goes to sleep over at Fregley's house and he's stabbing the shit out of a kite.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, why are you doing this?
That's what he's doing by himself in his spare time.
Yeah. And he's just like, he like says hi to Greg and then nonchalantly just goes back to stabbing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing, Fregley? You okay?
We don't meet his parents. We see a little bit into his life because we go to his house.
Yeah.
And I think it was 100% what the movie was trying to put across with like us seeing all these like really neat, clean homes the whole time.
Yeah.
Then we go to Fregley's and it's like it's very dark. There's like trees covering the home.
Yeah, there's a lot of
very
overgrowth,
green and grey inside inside the house. Even though that it's like a double-story house on the corner of a block in America, so still probably loaded, very high class story that this film is. Is that? But I think that they're still trying to get across the idea that he comes from like he's like the lower class people in this town.
Well, I mean, to Greg, he's lower class.
The poor, like he comes from a poor family that that are all weird and kooky.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's it called? Like, there's also a scene where like Fregley's. I think that also what else can like help our theories, like, you know, Fregley. There's like scenes, not just in this one, but in later films where he's talking to stuffed animals. Like not stuffed, not plush animals, but like actual taxidermied animals. And I'm thinking like, so he doesn't have friends, and he most likely comes from a broken home. That's why, and maybe he relies on these animals as like his form of connection, his form of friendship, like will give him comfort in this dark period of his life. Are we reaching? No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so, because this is a film, a movie about upper class kids. Like Rowley's house is just insane.
Oh my god, yeah.
And like it's really interesting how it's like kids are conditioned to like because I think that it's sort of presented that he's like the poor kid as well. That kids are conditioned to be like the poor kid. They're weird.
Yeah,
they're strange. Like he's like the type of like Kenny in South Park. Yeah. And it's weird. The kids' films will place the film in a very upper class environment. I think to get all kids to relate to it, because they think the kids never really realize the socioeconomic place, but that just assume that they're on top.
Yeah, speak for yourself, mate. I was very aware of like my socioeconomic standings when I was 10.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I was thinking, what? Okay.
Dude, I didn't even know how to count money properly till I was like halfway through primary school, man. I thought 50 cents was more than $2.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I was that kid.
Oh, you'll be rich at school.
Yeah. Man. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I find that really, really strange that, like, it's almost like this weird discovery that, different families make different amounts of money and come from different areas. When you become, like, a little bit more mature and you're just sort of ignorant to that as a child, because media facilitates that, without a doubt. You watch this movie and you're like, oh, they're all normal. And then you watch it now and you're like, man, they are fucking loaded.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, my God.
Oh my goodness!
Like their money would be no freaking object in this world.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah. Well, I really like in the film that when in Greg's journey to become cooler, one of Greg and Rowley's expeditions is to just go hardcore Jehovah's Witness at school.
Oh yeah,
in the aim of being cool, coming to school in a suit and tie.
Well, I mean, a lot of during the montage when Greg's walking in slow motion, a lot of people are impressed by it. So Greg's plan was working, and then Rowley had to go and fuck it up.
They love Jehovah's Witnesses in middle school.
Oh yeah,
they really have a really, really big like admiration for it. They're like the commitment that would take.
Oh, the bravery to go door to door.
Oh yes, what a brave man.
God bless, man. Honestly.
We need to talk about the Greg and Rowley dynamic.
Yeah.
Is that this movie almost works well as like a breakup movie.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Around the third, like end of second act, third act sort of territory. Like Greg goes through all the motions of a breakup.
Yeah.
And especially like breakup at school where then you'll see that ex.
Which like look, it isn't a new thing for like friends to break up in films, especially children's media.
Oh my god,
They
especially.
do the third act breakup in like literally every kids movie that like focuses on friends, and it's like it's usually it feels unearned, it feels rushed, it feels lazy, but like it does work in this movie, I feel.
I think it works, but still because of just how cliche it is.
Oh yeah, it's still
when
cliche.
It comes, I'm a bit like, oh my god.
But like it feels almost cathartic in a way because it's like you're seeing Greg finally get some comeuppance.
Yeah, gets comeuppance for all of his lying.
It's like especially for like getting Rowley fired off the safety patrol, for like unintentionally but kind of intentionally framing Rowley for like what was it, like dumping the kindergartners in a ditch.
Yeah, just dumping them in a freaking hole.
And then literally, Greg's like, I decided to do the right thing. I decided to let Rowley take one for the team.
Yeah.
And he says that, and he's literally watching Rowley apologize to the kindergartners while this insane safety patrol guy, this like the leader of the safety patrol, this like middle-aged balding dude who takes this role so seriously. He's acting like Rowley, like when Rowley was initially framed and like he's like relieving him of safety patrol duties. It's like he's acting like Rowley it was like a corrupt cop or something, and he just committed like a vicious hate crime.
It's time to hand over your badge.
Or shot a child or something. Like,
but again, what a freaking good guy that Rowley is. He just takes it. He takes one for the team. He like, oh my god, what the honor of this man that he doesn't reject it. He just goes, I don't know what I've done, but I respect your behavior, your wishes.
He just takes it like a man, and it's like, God bless you,
the BDE of this guy.
Exactly.
Oh my god. And you really see like all the steps of this breakup, post breakup, where that's when you start feeling for Greg, because it's like when you see your ex with another friend or partner, wanting to tell them about something that just happened in your life as well, that's what really hit.
That's actually like a decent emotional scene right there.
That is the best emotional scene, I reckon.
Of all time in all of cinema.
Oh yeah.
Just take that.
Yeah, the best emotional scene in all of film history.
It does, no, but like unironically though, it does work really well because I feel like we've all been at that point where like something really funny happens, or like we've just in general we want to tell someone something, but like this person we're not close to anymore, or we're on non-speaking terms, or they've moved on and you still and you think you haven't, but then like you go to tell them and it's like, wait a minute, I still haven't moved on. It's like that was just like, oh damn.
I remember that very, very distinctly from like my first real breakup. In year 11. Like I just remember like after me and my ex Charlie broke up, just for months after that, every time that anything good would happen in my life, I was just so used to her being the first person that I wanted to tell. And then when you break up and you're missing that like nothing really happens. This is the what I would say at the time is that nothing felt like it really happened until I would tell Charlie about it.
Yeah.
And that is what Greg is feeling right now. He finally gets revenge on Roderick for fucking him over all the time.
For giving Manny porn.
And gives Manny porn.
But it's nice that he puts chocolate in a magazine, and like Manny I feel like he ate all the chocolate, and he's just reading. He's like genuinely,
he's just having a read. He's having a geek.
If anything, Susan should be proud, like because she's always going on about like, oh, reading is fun and all that. So,
reading is fun.
If anything,
for Rowley. For freaking Manny.
Yeah, so like Manny's doing some light reading. Come on, like let the man just vibe.
Yeah, and then this phone call, you see him like so excited, the joy in his eyes, and then he gets to the phone, picks it up, and then realizes, No, he calls him.
Yeah, he calls him, and then Rowley
hears
picks
his
up.
voice on the other side of the phone, and he's
like, no.
Yeah, and then just hangs up. Which also, like, I think when I think of that scene, props to the freaking actor that plays Greg.
Yeah.
Like, insane.
Oh, the actor
actually does a good job.
The acting is, like, it's a kid's movie, so, you're not going to get Oscar-winning performance, but, like, the family in this movie, like, just a lot of, like, the family and, like, it feels like our actual family. I feel like a lot of films, like a lot of kids films and just films in general, you just get like a mishmash of actors that like they tell you, like the film tells you that they're a family, but you don't really feel that connection, you know?
Zachary Gordon actually does a good job. Like he's suited for the role.
Oh, I think they're all great. I feel like they get better in like the late. I feel like Zachary Gordon is great in this, and I feel like the rest of the actors maybe have I feel like are the least developed in this one. Like they have the least amount to do, apart from being like the stock father, mother, brother kind of thing. Oh, well, you know, props to Roderick though. You know, Devin Bostick, we love you, Devin.
Oh,
please come on the podcast.
We'll never forget you.
We will we'll never forget you. But no, like they get a lot more to do in the sequels and all that, and like but you can definitely see a lot of their like foundation, like the family's foundations being built.
Yeah,
like,
completely.
Roderick's. I don't really know what. It's just Roderick's just godlike aura, you know, and Frank's descent slipping into madness.
They were even cast in a way that they look like they could be a legitimate family.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like,
that's a pretty big deal. That's a really it's a nice little detail that the casting have actually put effort into.
The chemistry is really, especially, and also like Greg and Rowley and all that. The chemistry is like, it feels genuine. Like you genuinely feel like that they're friends.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why it does get you when like, you know, they're going through that third act breakup and all that, you know.
Let's go back to Roderick for a second.
Sure.
What a endearing, charming character.
Oh, in this one especially.
God. In this one, he's great.
Oh, I mean, like, the film opens up with us gazing into his eyes and all that. So, like, we're off to a good start, you know?
Yeah. You know they have faith that this guy's great.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, women. That's my favorite quote from the movie is I'm sorry, women.
One of his bandmates' reactions during, like, the scene where, like, he's getting chewed out by Susan.
Yeah.
Like, you pointed this out, like, geez, he looks horrified.
Oh,
he looks
my God,
he's like,
yeah.
fuck,
man. I think that this, it definitely, I think, goes on with this more in Roderick Rules, but I like thinking that the filmmakers intended that, like, Roderick and his friends are just fucked the whole time.
Oh, yeah,
like,
they're stoned off their ass.
They are stoned out of their minds.
There's so many scenes where you can tell that the director was probably thinking, Roderick's stoned in this scene or something. But it implies.
Yeah.
It's like an implied like stoning and all that.
Yeah,
stoning.
Implied stoning.
Fucking hell. This isn't Monty Python.
When Susan comes into the room to tell him off, it's an implied stoning right there.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, he's getting verbally stoned really badly.
The other teenagers in this movie that aren't Roderick's friends are the teenagers that come across the boys on Halloween that harass them.
Oh, they're awful people.
What the... You always see this in movies, like teenagers, as in close to adults, 17-year-old sort of thing, harassing and abusing like children.
Yeah, like that's.
I have never known anyone that at that age to go that far to want to abuse or harass kids.
Like they literally spray him with a fire extinguisher during Halloween, and then like Greg, like, you know, he's a kid that just got attacked, so he's like, I saw your license plate and your faces, I'm gonna call the cops. Then they start chasing them.
They start chasing them like they're gonna die. Well, their whole intention is that they're gonna beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. They're getting chased and they're running for their lives because they think they're gonna be killed.
It felt like I was watching a Stephen King movie. It felt like I was watching Stand By Me or like Henry Bowers and It and all that. Like, all they need was to pull out a switchblade. And like, what the fuck?
I would not have been surprised if they got a switchblade out. Especially after they get out the weapons, Rowley and Greg.
Oh yeah, and then they scratch up the dude's car.
Yeah. After the car scratch. I could totally see them getting
the main bully actually just does kind of remind me of like Henry Bowers in like the remake of it. They kind of have the same hair. They have like a mullet type. Vibe. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on in the film, as the conclusion is sort of coming of this movie, and Greg and
the epic final.
Yeah, Greg and Rowley are having their fight. Then the teenagers show up again at their school.
Yeah.
And then start harassing the two boys, and all the other kids just run away, as you would, because this is terrifying.
Yeah, and there's no teacher presence.
They trespass on this school, and teachers are not present. There are 3 teenagers close to adulthood that are harassing and abusing these 2 kids, and there are no teachers to be nearby and care.
And keep in mind, like, this scene where, like, they're abusing Greg and Rowley and all that, and spoiler alert for this very tragic scene, making Rowley eat the cheese.
Yeah.
Like, that scene goes on for, like, 5 minutes, and it takes, like, I say that because it takes, like, 5 minutes for a teacher to actually come out and tell them off.
Yeah.
What the
Thank
fuck?
God for Coach Malone to be there.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
See, that's
shining armor.
That's why
shining
he's
armor.
a hero, man. He's the Wimpy Kid Saga's unsung hero.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's go.
How fucking bizarre, though. Man, I would get in trouble in primary school for going on the big kids' playground when I'm in grade 2.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be in grade 3. Or going to the little kids' playground when you're in grade 3, when you're supposed to be in grade 2. There are adults here that drove their car onto the freaking oval and are, like, restraining kids against their will.
It's insane.
That is, man, no wonder that American schools have freaking metal detectors and security as you go in.
Oh my!
Yeah, because teachers aren't enough. You need security. You need armed guards to protect these children.
Yeah, I know. Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous.
But what a powerful scene, though. I think it's a really, really good climax to the film because it really it caps off Greg's redemption arc.
Part 1.
Yeah. His redemption arc, part 1.
Yeah.
Because every single film is just
he needs to do one good deed in each film.
He needs to redeem himself with one good deed.
Let's be honest, he is less insufferable. Like, he's less intentionally insufferable in the later 2 ones, because, like, you know, he's growing up and all that.
Yeah.
And I feel like the lessons that he's learnt in, like, the previous movies, he still retains them, but, like, because he's still, like, a preteen, it's still, like, the selfishness and egotism is still present. It's like it's now in battle with with the dark side is in battle with the light side of the Force, kind of thing, kind of meme.
Here, this is what I think is the best thing about the relationship, the breakup arc between Greg and Rowley, is that it ends in such a way that I think it's satisfying that they come together, because there will be so many, like, breakups that will come together that feel very unearned and just, like, okay.
Yeah.
Why,
or like, really?
Why are they back? Yeah. Why are they back together? They hated each other a second ago.
Yeah.
But what I like about this is that with Greg taking the fall for that he ate the cheese instead of Rowley eating it, and that he is the cheese touched. It shows that Greg, he's putting himself on the line for Rowley for the first time, which is all that one really wants after a breakup, right? Because 100% Greg is in the wrong. Rowley broke up with him because he's like, you never admit to responsibility. You always screw me over, and you have no remorse for me. Like, you're always putting yourself ahead of me. And all that one really needs to do to make that up to someone and really show that they care about them is just by showing, I do have the capacity to put you before myself.
Yeah.
And he gets that. And Rowley gets what he needs, which is the reassurance that one cares about the other. That, like obviously, that Greg doesn't know that. Greg doesn't acknowledge that Rowley cares about him through the entire film. And then he gets to this point where he realizes, because Rowley eats the cheese, he does it. And he almost sort of sees that Rowley has these massive freaking balls at the end.
Yeah.
Because he does it. He cries and everything.
Yeah, but he still did it, yeah.
Yeah, he goes through and he goes, oh, wow, Rowley actually does care about me. He was showing it the whole time but didn't realize it. Where Greg wasn't showing it the entire time. And then finally shows it, so then both of them are reassured that one does care for the other. Which never happens. This never fucking happens in real life.
Yeah, no.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
If only every, like, relationship breakup that I've gone through
was just like the Wimpy Kid.
Was just like the Wimpy Kid. And I got that reassurance at the end that the other person does care about me.
Yeah.
Because this does not happen. What will usually happen is that it'll be like, it's not worth all the bitterness, and then you'll just forget about it and move on.
Yeah.
And then you usually get hurt again later on.
Yeah.
So really, Greg and Rowley, I think, they're a good role model for us human beings.
Yeah.
To really see our faults and put other people in front of ourselves if we do prove to be selfish. Because there is redemption.
That's a good moral. I feel like we can all learn a lot from Greg and Rowley.
From Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
From Diary of a Wimpy Kid in general. Thank you, Jeff Kinney. Thank you, Jeff Kinney. And director Thor... I don't remember his last name. I just remember the director of the first film's name, Thor.
And director Thor.
Yeah, thank you, director Thor,
Yeah.
Thor Odinson.
Yeah, you've done very, very well.
Yeah, crafted a true masterpiece.
That would be a perfect place to end it up.
I think that is a great way to.
If I didn't want to just really quickly talk about the dad and Steve Zahn and how fucking unbelievable he is.
The Zahn has got it going on. Cut that part out.
Steve Zahn has got it going on.
Yeah, cut this part out.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck this.
The most powerful thing of Steve Zahn's character are his eyes.
His eyes, dude.
His eyes, which will be a recurring theme through this series.
Yeah.
His fucking eyes.
Like, this one is the least amount of eyes,
the least
Zahn eyes that you get. You get the least amount of Zahn in this movie. You get a couple flashes of true Zahniness.
Yeah,
but in the later films,
Halloween Zahn, is the best Zahn that you see in this so far.
Oh wait, do you remember?
Do you
remember the video that I sent you like last week? I sent Rhys a video of like a joke, like the Joker Joaquin Phoenix movie trailer, but it was just Steve Zahn in Wimpy Kid. It fits so stupidly well.
It weirdly works.
I couldn't find any trailer. No one has made a trailer, the Joker trailer for Greg Heffley. They've made one of Rowley of all people.
What?
And like I don't get that. Like Steve Zahn, Frank Heffley, I get that because like he looks insane. But like, why not one of Greg? Like Greg is like I don't know. Just
there's literally a diary of his is called The Last Straw, which is green, the same color as Joker's hair.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, there's a scene of Greg going like, "Am I the only one that gets comedy?" That sounds like a line ripped right out of Joker right there.
100% does.
I love that.
That's amazing.
I remember watching a YouTube video of this dude talking about Wimpy Kid films, and when that scene played, there was just like a JPEG of like Joaquin Phoenix Joker's face over Greg's face when he's saying that line, and I don't know why. It's so stupid, but it cracked me up so fucking much watching that. So shout out to Diamond Bolt for that edit. Come on the podcast, we can talk about our love of Wimpy Kid. Thank you.
Well, there's much more Steve Zahn to see ahead of us. And
I'm very pumped.
I think that we'll leave it there. Have a lovely day, everyone. Thank you for listening.
No worries. Have a lovely time, guys.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week for Roderick Rules, where we'll be having a special guest. Our first one. I'm sorry, women. Goodbye.
How do you feel about having owned this type of magazine?
Ashamed.
Nice. Do you have anything you want to say to women for having owned this offensive magazine?
I'm sorry, women.
And don't forget to check out our Facebook page at Marathon Me Official, all one word, and our Instagram, MarathonMe_official, to keep up to date on the podcast. And hey, if you want to get into contact with us, email us at marathonmepodc, yes, the letter C, @gmail.com. Like podcast without the ask.